What's up, y'all? How's it going? It's Ike's Boom Boom Room. We are here for another installment. It's been a long time coming. No guests, but I wanted to just do a podcast closing out the year, introducing 2025. The Game Awards was last night. Today is December 13th, hence the Friday the 13th hoodie. If you can see me right now, if you're not listening on Spotify or just watching on YouTube. It is the day after the Game Awards. Some of the games that I'm mentioning here will be from those announcements 24 hours ago. Of course, this is my most anticipated games of 2025. My top 5 games of 2024 will be coming in the next installment. I recorded them at the same time, but wanted to break them up into their own little things. They will kind of be pretty much back to back. You'll see this one and then after the weekend or whenever this uploads. A few days later, you will see my top 5 of 2024. If you are not following the page, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Please like the video. Please follow or subscribe to the podcast on whatever platform you use to listen to podcasts. Apple, Spotify. I forget what else there are, but they're all there. I'm available at all places. I was crazy making the Iago face, the Gilbert Godfrey face just now. So here are my top 5 most anticipated games of 2025. Please let me know in the comments below. What are your favorites? Follow me at JokerManUno. That's JokerMan UNO on all social media platforms. If you can't leave a comment on YouTube, my YouTube is Ike's Boom Boom Room. But again, if you don't want to leave a comment there, just hit me up on my socials. Preference of platform, probably X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it these days is preferable if you want to ask a question. But yeah, holla at me and let the countdown begin. So for my number 5, as of right now, as of just seeing maybe about 60 seconds of cinematic gameplay, whatever you want to call it, is Turok Origins. I've seen the name Turok for over 20 to 25 years of my life. Not once have I given a shit about that franchise, but in 60 seconds, it's made my top 5 most anticipated games of 2025. We need more dinosaurs in games. I don't care how we get it. I don't care if it's by way of Dino Crisis making its way to PlayStation Plus. I don't care if it's by way of rebooting Turok. They are just as great as bad guys in gaming, in the context of gaming, as like they want to use Nazis as bad guys. Dinosaurs are great bad guys. Great fodder, and we need more of them. And the addition of just putting in like aliens and robots, it's just like the cherry on top. It looks like equal parts fun shooter. I don't know if it's multiplayer, but if it's multiplayer, even better. It looks like it's multiplayer, and it looks equal parts abstract terrifying when you see a Triceratops charging at you. I'm assuming this comes out in 2025. Again, if I didn't mention it, all of these are games that are assuredly coming out in 2025, but if they don't have the tagline of 2025, then you best believe that you are at least able to wishlist the game, and this is a wishlist game. So yeah, Turok Origins, my number 5. I hope it's coming out in 2025. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, looks great. My number 4 most anticipated game of 2025 is Pokemon ZA, Pokemon Zaza, Pokemon. Right? Takes place in the Kalos region. That Lumos City, that giant circle encompassing city from Pokemon X and Y, which is a location that like is very near and dear in my heart because that game is very near and dear in my heart because it's what reawoken the lapsed Pokemon fan within me. And it's all in the spirit of Legends Arceus, which I felt like was a milestone game for the Pokemon franchise. I know a lot of people were hoping that Gen 9 Scarlet and Violet would be a lot like that, but it was much more downgraded graphics and much more in the like of the wild area from Pokemon Sword and Shield. hopefully za is like a bigger expansion of Arceus, and they're not just sequestering you to this area, this area, this area, sort of like a Monster Hunter game, and it's way more expansive. And I think it will be, because we haven't seen any footage, and I think that it will be expansive, and we haven't seen any footage is because the game is primarily being made on Switch 2 hardware, is what I firmly believe. So we're not going to see anything new. We haven't seen anything new outside of like the announcement trailer, and we're not going to see anything new until probably we get that Nintendo 2 announcement, right? There's going to be new Mega Evolutions. There's a bunch of data, a whole bunch of like, I don't know if it's data mining, but you know, the usual Pokemon rumor mill folks are saying that they're going to be new Mega Evolutions. They're saying that there's going to be third, fifth, and 8th generation starters. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, it's going to be a great time. I'm a huge Pokemon fan, as you can see. It's going to be a good time. My number 3 most anticipated game for 2025 was just announced a mere 24 hours ago, and that is Elden Ring Night Rain. Wow. Was I not expecting that? From Software already said that the Tree would be the end of support for Elden Ring, and that they would be moving forward to a new IP. Nobody thought that it would be a spin-off game of Elden Ring with the name Elden Ring. What's crazier is it looks like it's encompassing all the lore of all From Software games, at least the Dark Souls series, and that's pretty fucking insane. I have no idea what the lore is from the From Software games outside of like a little bit I hear during my Elden Ring streams, which you can see on twitch.tv/JokermanUno, or right here in this very same YouTube page. I do a dual stream. And outside of that, I know nothing, but it looks very exciting. I play co-op with 2 of my friends, and every time we get together, we're like, when is From Software going to see that there is a need for a co-op From Software game? The implementation of it in Elden Ring was cool, although the invaders kind of ruin it a lot of the time. But there's a whole new way of playing Elden Ring when you get together with friends, and to see that they were listening and they were already way ahead of everybody ahead of time and just snuck this feature in as a show of things to come. Amazing stuff. It looks like a roguelike Sekiro, because it kind of has like a parry mechanic in it, at least from what I saw. And I'm still, expecting, and it looked like giant beasts that they're fighting, sort of like Monster Hunter, but I'm still expecting that super crazy level of difficulty. I'm still expecting to die a million times. I'm just excited to see how the class system works, if there is a class system, how the inner workings of the stats work, if it's more like Elden Ring or if it's like a wholly new type of deal. I can't wait for the details. I see that they have a beta that's opening sometime in January for people to play the game and, experience what that's like. And I want to be one of those people. I did not care for Elden Ring, super got into Elden Ring this year, haven't even touched DLC, cannot wait for this game to come out. All right, so my number 2 most anticipated game of 2025 is a new IP called Clair Obscur Expedition 33? It's a hell of a name. Like, I don't know why they chose that name. But it's the game with voice acting from Andy Serkis, Charlie Cox, and Ben Starr, who did Clive from Final Fantasy 16. This game looks incredible. Like, I'm a sucker for RPGs. RPGs are my favorite genre of video games, especially when it's turn-based, but they put a QTE aspect to the gameplay that is unlike anything I've ever seen before. Sure, there's been quick time events in RPGs before, you press X or circle during the right time during an attack, you get an extra attack or critical hit or something of the like. But this takes that to like the full measure, where that kind of gameplay is implemented in attacking, defense, using magic, dodging, using counters. It's all on hand, and it makes in my opinion, the RPG aspect a little bit more interactive, and I think that's what a lot of RPG turn-based folks, people who are not into that genre, kind of need or want, or is the reason why they don't like it. Is just not much interaction outside of pressing buttons. But now you have to pay attention, and now reflexes and being immersed in the actual battle is something of a thing and less about the strategy, but in tandem with the strategy, I should say, of a traditional RPG. And I think that's super cool. It has a Final Fantasy X style of player orders and turns in the top left corner of the screen. Well, this side of the screen here, it shows the order of attack. It shows your character, whoever's in your party, and then your enemy attacking. I haven't seen anything like that since Final Fantasy X, and maybe that Lord of the Rings game for PS2 that came out that totally like yanked that whole gameplay style. I think that's super awesome. The Hollywood lineup is cool, but what makes it even better is this is a new IP and it has like AAA graphics. Most RPG, especially if it's a Japanese RPG, they have to stick to sort of a art style to compensate for like not the insanely huge AAA graphics that games usually have, but this one has them, and that's pretty rare. It's pretty awesome. Um, One of the regions I saw called Flying Waters looks amazing. A lot of like light refractions. It looks like it's an underwater area. People are walking around underwater though, so I'm very interested to see what this whole thing is about. I don't know anything about the story. The story is the least interesting aspect to me. Second least interesting aspect is the Hollywood lineup. But that the graphics, the gameplay, what I'm seeing, this shit looks incredible, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. Okay, so my number one game for 2025 is everyone's most anticipated game for 2025. And I don't even think that shit is coming in 2025. Of course, I'm talking about Grand Theft Auto 6. I don't think this shit is coming, bro. It might be coming, and the only reason I say it probably is coming for 2025 because it has every other industry shook right now. Not industry, but every other like development team, publisher shook. They don't know when they're gonna drop. They want to avoid dropping when that game drops or within that window. But yeah, this is the one game that is always a watershed cultural moment within the zeitgeist. I remember when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out back in 2012, 2013, and I got it for 360. I remember when Grand Theft Auto 4 came out alongside the launch of the PS3, I think it was. Um, I remember when 3 came out and it kind of just started that whole precedence of just always being a moment. And every year that's come out, every year that's gone on, every new installment of Grand Theft Auto is just more of a cultural moment, more of a grand anticipation until we've reached the swell that we have now. It's the only game where all walks of life come together. People who play RPGs, people who play mobile games, the niggas that only play sports games, the Monster Energy drink people who only play Call of Duty and first person shooters, the free to play folks that are, can only afford to play free to play games. Everybody comes and celebrates Grand Theft Auto. I can't wait to see more VTubers saying the N word. Nigga. Nigga. I love that the shit is taking place in Florida, the most American place to America ever at this point. I love that it's going to be equal parts, social media world that we're exploring, the influencer world that we're exploring, but also like the crazy debaucherism that we've been like going through for the last 10 years, the Trump stuff, like the political climate, all of that is about to be explored. And, all the lessons that we're going to receive from it, all the satirization is going to be overlooked for the lulz, much like the Boondocks is in today's society. But I'm here for the social commentary. I'm here to see what Rockstar has to say about the American dream this time around, because they always have something to say about Americana and the American dream and the culture at large in their games. And now that we're here in this timeline, in this like current generation that we're exploring, I feel like there's going to, and going through everything we've gone through these last few years, is going to be a profound statement. The graphics look world changing. I just watched a video of, they had this girl doing twerk moves with a mocap suit on so they can get the fluid motions. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna set a new precedent. Like, if you thought Red Dead Redemption 2 was just full to the brim with the details and intricacies, that's about to be Grand Theft Auto 6 like twofold. I cannot wait to see what that shit is going to be like. Everybody is going to just drop off the face of the planet and be on that game. It's going to be a moment, and I just pray and pray and pray that it comes out when it's supposed to come out and that it doesn't get delayed. But if it does get delayed, who cares? Because we're all going to be there. Nobody is going to miss this. I don't care how mad you are. We got this before GTA 6. We got that before GTA 6. You're going to be there, or you're going to be a complete moron who's missing out. I can't wait. Take as long as you need to, Rockstar. That's my number one most anticipated game of 2025. What's yours? Probably Grand Theft Auto, right? It's probably Grand Theft Auto. Let me know anyway.